Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world where nothing fits, but then everything fits when you're at the center of the world. So today is April Fool's Day. And the title of this talk is Be April's Fool. Now, I don't know where April's Fool, I have to look it up on Google. Google knows everything, how April Fool's Day got started. But I remember when I was at the Courier Record as a writer there from 1987 to 1994, the Doug Colburn, the editor, waited with so much excitement for April 1st to come around on newspaper day. So the paper could be printed on the 1st of April. And he would prepare a whole front page of a fake story, like a Aboriginal man being dug up at Fort Pickett, or some really elaborate story with pictures, and it was a great event, waiting for that April 1st to come around on Wednesday, when the paper came out on Wednesday. And it was a great tradition of fake news. Fake news. And I was writing today on some comment, it was about some picture of a big macho man walking around in a dress, and it's photoshopped. And, we're all kind of April Fool now as far as reality, because it used to be not too long ago, maybe in the 50s, that reality was believed in. If you saw a newspaper photo, if you saw a photo, you believed that photo was real. It was just, there was no question. I remember there was a big to-do about, the Civil War photos, the first news photos, and it was discovered that the photographer had arranged some of the corpses, the bodies, for the photo. That was just unthinkable, in the sense that the photo had to capture reality as it really was. So you saw a photo, you believed that photo was a representation of reality, was showing reality. And so gradually, we have had that belief in reality chipped away, like chipping away at an ice statue. In the 50s, news was reported by 3 networks with anchors, and you believed those anchors, what they said, and the news all reported on a world out there that we all believed was the same world. In other words, the objective world, what we call reality, with phenomena or form, or out there, there's the world we see, and then there's the world we feel inside, the subjective world and the objective world. The subjective world was always in question. Oh, that's just your opinion. That's your fantasy. But the outside world was real and believed in, and I think the 50s was the last decade where the objective world existed as something everybody saw. We believed everybody was seeing everybody, we believed without question, and we still do in our common sense, that the world we see is seen by everybody else. So the world I see is out there, and everyone else is seeing the same world. And we can't understand why everybody doesn't see the same world. It's right there. Can't you see it? Can't you see it, you see? And the other person. But today, gradually, as our instruments of sharing reality become more digitized or say electronic, and internet and social media, and we can't believe anything anymore. Everything's photoshopped. Everything is presented as real, and then we discover it's not real. So we're constantly being subjected to April Fool. So everything that's in the media and in local news, you see, is presented as real. And so we even have, like the Onion and other, pranksters and everything. We love pranking people and getting them caught into believing something's real when it isn't. Ha ha. April Fool, caught on candid camera. These pranking, the whole thing. This has been the fun of making people an April Fool when it's not April Fool's Day. You see. So April Fool's Day has become every day. We're all being constantly lured into believing something is real, and then we discover it isn't real, or at least it's not what it was presented to be, or at least it didn't show the other side. It didn't show the whole picture. So everything, we're in a constant state of reality attack, and this is creating anxiety. This is creating not only anxiety, but a dread, that the dread that nothing is real. Everything is fake. Everything is an illusion. That's why you get into the non-dualists on social media who are all running around saying, well, yeah, it's all an illusion. Even you're an illusion. And so what do you end up with, you see, with that viewpoint, you see? Anyway, this I'm not a non-dualist, by the way, nor am I a dualist. So anyway, what is there if you're not dual or non-dualist? Anyway, I was just kind of cracking on this whole idea of April Fool, and today that our reality itself is an April Fool's Day. And nobody believes anything. Maybe it first started with JFK. Who killed JFK? Like, what was the Dallas show? Who killed... But the whole question, who killed JK? Was the moon landing real? Was 9/11 real? How do you know? You see, Google it up, whatever you want. If you Google it up on Google, you just get what you want to find. Everything's on Google. So we're really in a constant state of fundamental uncertainty, and we don't. I think this is shaping our consciousness. This attack on reality. You see it all the time. Everything that comes up, particularly now, is politicized. It's been politicized by political parties, particularly on the right. Thank you, Mr. Fox. Is that anything that the left, which used to be the mainstream media that reported objective truth, is under attack by the right, you see, as fake news. So this attack by the right on reality that was the 50s, basically, the belief, there was no question about reality not being what we perceive it to be. Now that's being questioned, you see. So Fox News is kind of like a political Buddha. I just thought of this in the sense that Buddhism is, Zen particularly, is the question that each of us must ask of our assumptions. Is this real? Is this true? So Zen Buddhism, again, but Zen in particular, is a constant question about the truth of what I believe in personally, not what the world believes in. No, what do I believe in? So this is kind of like a burning question in the one who seeks truth. Well, if everything is an illusion, everything is attacked, nothing is substantial, nothing exists out there on its own, where is truth? What is truth, you see? Which is the question of who am I? Who am I is the question What is truth? Who am I? What am I? You see. So that question is the Buddha question that is kind of like warm awareness that melts the ice. So what the world has become frozen in words, objective words. Everything is a thing, and it's named, and it exists on its own, and by naming it, we call it up. So what is there before the names? What is there before everything is framed in language? What is there before everything is fixed? Like in a dark room, for those who ever remember a dark room, if you were developing a photo, you would begin developing, and there would be a moment of the exposure on that paper where you had to fix it. So you would put it in the fixer and freeze the exposure. And you would try to get it just right so it would look exactly like what you were taking a picture of. But if you didn't put it in the fixer, it would just keep on developing and become dark. And you have a black sheet of paper, overexposed, you see. So you had to fix it. So language fixes reality, in an exposure that people agree on. But this is the Buddha, words. I'm trying to get across the point that our language fixes reality, and now we don't believe in reality anymore because we realize, I suppose, collectively we realize that reality is not fixed. And so this whole April Fool's Day we live in, where reality is constantly under attack, basically is a metaphor for the question, the Buddha question, is this real? So, but we don't go far enough with this, you see. We end up in despair and dread. Nothing's real, nothing, where is truth? Can't believe anything. It all sucks. Nihilism, everything is negative, everything is illusion. People end up there and they stop. And then they long for the strong man, the savior, to come in and make everything real again, to create order and stop the chaos, stop the exposure, stop the disintegration, you see. So we'll call in the savior, call in the strong man, call in the dictator. He'll come in and stop the world before it gets overexposed. He'll stop this madness, you see. So that's kind of like where we are now. And now even Trump, Trump is not real. In other words, he's, the whole, anyway. So anyway, just a little different slant on April's Fools today. That the bigger picture is that there is something being born in our consciousness that must first penetrate the assumption that the world is real as we see it. So this is being attacked collectively, and it creates the need to awaken the truth within you that is real, to awaken the truth that you are, that is real, and that cannot be doubted, and that cannot be questioned. I am. That question of I am the truth, not the objective truth, but I know. The knower is born. The knowing that penetrates, that is. Let's say when in like in Buddhism, in Zen particularly, there's all these little quotes and statements that don't make any sense, like from the beginning all beings are Buddha. Well, that doesn't mean anything in the logical world, but in the search for truth world, from the beginning, you are Buddha. You are the knower. I know. I know, the knowing that is prior to words, the knowing that transcends words, the knowing that is always present, no matter what the words are saying. So there is a real shift going on in American consciousness, I think, but it has to go through a big April Fool's joke before it gets there. Anyway, thanks for dropping in. This was not a joke.